Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to a special recap of Bash at Berlin. And also tonight we're going to be previewing NXT No Mercy that's going down tomorrow. This is going on as Michael Fletcher alongside Anthony Florio. We are all waiting the arrival of Michael Bullock. If he joins us, then great. If he doesn't, then we will possibly see him possibly Monday night because I think we might have to move the recap of No Mercy to Monday because I know, Anthony, you alluded to possibly some commitments beyond your control. So we might do it that way to incorporate what's going on Monday. So we might do that. So with that said, we're just gonna dive right on in. We're gonna start with No Mercy, and we started it out, or I should say, we started Bash at Berlin. I should say, my apologies. Bash at Berlin from the Uber Arena in Berlin, Germany. And, well, this was it. This was the one that we were waiting for, guys. So we started out with the undisputed WWE Championship on the line. Uh, oh, okay, very well. And we started it off with Cody Rhodes versus Kevin Owens for the WWE title. And when it was all said and done, the winner of the bout in 23 minutes and 16 seconds, and still the WWE champion, the American Nightmare, Cody Rhodes. Solid opener. Very good matchup. I could say this was easily a 3.5 star bout. You could even say 4 if you wanted to. It was good for what it was worth. Uh, both guys definitely giving it their all. There was a moment where Owens could have gone low, tried to take a cheap way out, and you could notice he was conflicted throughout the match about, you know, Cody hurt his knee during the match, and he didn't really want to go after the knee. He didn't want to go down that road, and you could tell he was really conflicted throughout the match. There were certain moments in the fight where the old Kevin Owens would have pulled the trigger, and he was very cautious about going down that dark path. But Cody got the win at the end, and then at the end of the match, Kevin Owens does the babyface thing and does not turn on Cody Rhodes, much to the, I guess you could say, to the relief of myself, to Anthony and my uncle Bullet, because we all thought he was going to turn. Tonight was not the night. Maybe down the line he will, but tonight was not the night. 4 stars, great match. Anthony, it's yours.
Well, I'll tell you, MF, the match was excellent. A back and forth battle between two baby faces that did not descend into the formulaic. Neither work his heels, with the story instead focusing on whether Owens would rediscover the edge that led him to his prior successes. There were dramatic near falls on the tail end of notable finishers, and the crowd was red hot for everything, including the senton that Cody countered by getting his knees up in the crossroads that ended Owens' championship quest. A fantastic opener. The story is such now that it feels rather immature to move on from it and on to another Rhodes versus Solo Sikoa match, as Michael Cole teased on commentary. Is Kevin Owens really willing to just slink away now after coming so close to winning the top prize in the company? Hopefully not, because Triple H and the rest of the creative team may have stumbled upon one of the more intriguing stories they have been able to tell since WrestleMania. The fans erupted during the pre-match stare down with chants of "Welcome to Berlin" and "In Your Face." The electricity was palpable. The crowd was split right down the middle, with the crowd chanting both competitors' names in support of both champion and challenger. Michael Cole pointed out Cody Rhodes' efforts to keep his opponent guessing, including uncorking 2 early submission holds that are not typically part of the American Nightmare's arsenal. And the voice of WWE is at its best in this era when he can break free of governors in his ear dictating what he has to say. And neither superstar enjoyed a sustained advantage as not to build heat and be presented as the heel. It is a fine line to walk in a match between two baby faces, yet Kevin Owens and Cody Rhodes pulled it off. So for me, you can certainly make an argument for fight of the night on this one. I'm leaning towards 4.25 to 4.5 for me. So excellent opener. So not much more to say. MF, let's move on to our next match, the battle for the WWE Women's Tag Team Championship.
Yes, it was. And it was Bianca Belair and Jade Cargill going up against the Unholy Union, Alba Fire and Isla Dawn, winners of the bout, 12 minutes and 2 seconds, and new WWE Women's Tag Team Champions, Jade Cargill and Bianca Belair. History being made. Unprecedented crowning. Anthony Florio, it is yours.
This was a lengthy match that highlighted the women's tag team division, which has received a boost creatively from Triple H and company in recent weeks. It featured Alba Fire and Isla Dawn isolating Bianca Belair for the majority of the middle portion of the bout and cutting off any attempt to tag Jade Cargill into this match. And there isn't anything else left to say here except at this point, there are more heel teams in the women's tag division, and the creative team must find the prospect of using Belair and Cargill across both Raw and SmackDown appealing. While there was an argument to be made for keeping the titles on the Unholy Union, it's understandable why the decision was made to go with the babyfaces here. And Michael Cole pointed out Alba Fire's long history of working in Germany for West Side Extreme Wrestling. Wade Barrett spoke of Dawn and Fire keeping Cargill on the apron, stating that it is up to the least experienced competitor in the bout to come up with a strategy for the rest of the match. It was a little remark, but one that added gravity to the situation in a way the creative leading into it didn't. And a great spot here. Fire cut off Belair's attempt at a hot tag by delivering a tornado DDT that saw her kick the Storm off the apron in the process. And I think right now, Bianca Belair might be the best worker in the women's division today. Her growth since her first championship win at WrestleMania 37 is undeniable. And Fire repeatedly nursed her left knee. Hopefully she's okay and not injured in any significant way. I would say by default, this was the worst fight of the night, even though there was nothing wrong with it whatsoever. This was about 3.25, teetering on 3.5 for me. So not much more to say. MF, your thoughts? New champs, Belair and Cargill regain the titles.
Anthony, with all due respect, bro, you grossly overscored this. And you are absolutely wrong on everything you just said. I thought that the match was not as good as you thought it was. I thought it wasn't as enjoyable as the match was. I thought it was slow. It looked plotty. It looked like there were certain elements okay, I'll give you it. But I disagree on everything you just said. As a matter of fact, the internet was very vocal about this match. Yes, it was worst fight of the night, but for all the wrong reasons. To me, this is only 2.25 to 2.5 stars for this, my friend. I appreciate your respect, and I think you're entitled to your opinion, and I appreciate it. But I think you were absolutely wrong about this matchup. This is just my personal thoughts. So I know you're gonna be like, it is what it is, but like I said, just me personally, I thought this was only 2.25, 2.5.
Guess I'll have to rewatch the match again. Okay. Yep. I'll rewatch it again and I'll get back to you.
Yeah, no. Yeah, I think it's just like I said. I kind of felt like that's how it went. So, all right. So with that said, we move right on along. Next up on the fight card we had was, if I can get it, the strap match. As it was CM Punk versus Drew McIntyre. CM Punk winning the match in 19 minutes and 15 seconds. Look, good matchup, solid fight. About a 3-star bout. Yes, it told a good story. The ending was left to be desired. However, The story in itself made this match very, very good, very enjoyable. I actually liked it. Didn't like the ending. I thought the ending was a little cheesy. Sorry. But the right man won. It adds to the rivalry. Now each man has a win. So now there could be a trilogy fight. Nothing more to say. Anthony Floyo, 3 stars for me. What says you?
What says me? I'm leaning more towards 3.5 to 3.75 of a star for me. The rivalry between CM Punk and Drew McIntyre wrote its latest chapter today in a strap match, won by CM Punk as he avenged months of taunting and torment at the hands of the Scottish Warrior. And the best in the world accomplished defeat by absorbing tremendous punishment, delivering go to sleep 4 times, retrieving the bracelet with the names of his wife and his dog on it, and touching all 4 corners. The turnbuckle stipulation often detriments strap matches in WWE, forcing competitors to forego the more logical pinfall or submission finish. There were times during this match where that was the case, but for the most part, CM Punk and Drew McIntyre delivered an appropriately physical, hard-hitting bout that gave the babyface the much-needed win and hopefully meant the end of the bracelet side story. Punk shined brightly with a strong performance that he can build on as his return to the ring continues. McIntyre sold like a champ, eating each go to sleep. It feels very much like their rivalry has one more match left in it. And with the return of Bad Blood in Atlanta next on October 5, perhaps Hell in a Cell is that match. And Michael Cole, another great day on commentary. He recalled CM Punk winning a strap match against the late great Umaga. The same night, he cashed in Money in the Bank on Jeff Hardy to win the World Heavyweight Championship at Extreme Rules in 2009. Another great callback from him. And a great spot and a clever spot. There were 2 clever spots in this match, I thought. CM Punk set up a table, but rather than waiting to be driven through it, McIntyre rolled in the ring, forcing Punk back inside, and he rocked the Second City Saint with a Claymore from there. And the other clever spot, Punk cut off McIntyre's attempt to win the match by sliding out of the ring and pulling on the strap, driving McIntyre face first into a steel chair in the corner. And hell, I'll say it one more clever spot. I'll call this a clever spot too. Punk applied the sharpshooter and could neutralize McIntyre for a moment since there were no rules. So 3.5, 3.75 for me. So we move on now, MF, to, without question, the most hotly anticipated mixed tag team match in WWE history.
It was the Terror Twins, Rhea Ripley and Damian Priest, going up against Judgment Day members, Liv Morgan and Dominic Mysterio. And it was the Terror Twins, Damian Priest and Rhea Ripley winning the match, 14 minutes and 20 seconds. Yes, there was Judgment Day shenanigans. However, the most important thing, Rhea Ripley pinned Liv Morgan with the Riptide and the pretzel pin. Anthony, we called it. Championship committee moment. We got it.
We did. And what was that time again?
14:20.
Another 3.5 to 3.75 of a star of a match here. Yes, sir. And Rhea Ripley and Damian Priest avenged the shocking betrayals that doomed their SummerSlam by defeating Dominic Mysterio and Liv Morgan in a mixed tag match, all while fending off Finn Balor, JD McDonough, and Carlito. The crowd exploded for the entry of Rhea Ripley into the match off a hot tag from Priest and grew even louder when she got her hands and legs on Dominic. The Terror Twins appeared to be en route to a dominant win late in the bout, only for the remaining members of Judgment Day to appear. What could have been costly for Priest and Ripley proved to be a roadblock as the Archer of Infamy dispatched Judgment Day, setting Mommy to flatten Liv with Riptide and scored the big win. This was an expertly booked match that hit every story beat, gave the fans what they wanted, and highlighted Damian Priest and Rhea Ripley's potential to be a top act in WWE. If there was one negative, it was how foolish the heels looked. Despite an overwhelming numbers advantage, they were systematically picked apart in favor of the babyface win. One would assume this story is not over, and if that is the case, how Finn Balor and company recover will determine the feud's long-term well-being. For now, this was an effective showcase for Damian Priest and Rhea Ripley as they embark on a run as one of the most popular acts on the roster. The Terror Twins will make a ton of money for WWE. Both have the look and the aura needed, and the fans are behind them. And the hot tag to Rhea Ripley drew the biggest reaction of the match, and Michael Cole went, "Oh yeah," before adding, "Oh, I'm supposed to be unbiased." So, yes, sir. And then the visual of this match, no doubt about it, Rhea Ripley with that head scissor on Dominic, and this time the reaction rivaled any other on the entire show to that point. 3.5 to 3 3/4 of a star. Excellent mixed tag match. And we talked about it last night. Rhea Ripley getting the pin on Liv Morgan. So there's no question about it. Rhea Ripley shoots Rhea right back up in the number one contention. Championship committee moment, no question about it. And we already have one potential Hell in a Cell match for Bad Blood. Maybe we have another one with Rhea Ripley and Liv Morgan for the Women's World Championship. I could see that, but we'll have to wait and see. So 3.5, 3 3/4 of a star for me. So with that being said, MF Terra Twins get their revenge at least for today. But if I'm going to be honest with you, I think this feud is far from over. Far from over. So MF, your thoughts now as all right. I don't know if MF stepped away for a moment, but massive win here for the Terra Twins is this feud is definitely far from over as far as I'm concerned, and I do believe it's heading towards another Women's World Championship showdown with Liv Morgan and Rhea Ripley. I'm thinking Hell in a Cell at Bad Blood. So we'll have to wait and see how it goes, and we'll see how Judgment Day recovers from this. So it'll be interesting to see what happens in Denver come Monday night, and we'll address all of it right here. So we are awaiting MF. I'm sure he stepped away for just a moment. So hopefully we'll get him back in soon enough. And, I got to tell you, that German crowd, I mean, these international crowds are just so unbelievable. And, that crowd in Germany, they had the same energy just like we saw in Australia and in France and in Saudi Arabia and Scotland, and awesomeness. All right, MF is back in. So once again, 3.5, 3 3/4 of a star is my rating for it. And well, MF, it'll be interesting to see how this story progresses come Monday Night Raw in Denver on Labor Day Monday night. But for right now, Rhea and Damian get the big win here, and yes, championship committee moment. Rhea and Liv, Hell in a Cell.
I would probably say Rhea. Yeah, I'll say Rhea, Liv, Hell in a Cell. 3 1/4, 3.5 is my rating for the match. Like you said, Rhea gets the win back. She now guarantees herself a title shot. They got to run that back, no doubt about it. I think it'll definitely happen now. As far as Damian goes, they can go a number of different routes. Andy, remember, he did vow after the match is over. I don't know if you noticed this, Anthony, but he said that he would take out each member of the Judgment Day one by one. So he's got a personal mission right now, and he is try to take out every single member in a path of destruction. So obviously, for Damian, he's going to go after JD, he's going to go after Carlito, but the two he wants the most. Dominic, and most importantly, Finn Balor. Balor will be the last guy he's going to get before he's all said and done to move on to the next storyline. So, yeah, absolutely. And Liv and Rhea, yeah, they're at a collision course. They're now possibly going to be fighting at Bad Blood in Atlanta for the Women's World Title. And yes, I do believe Hell in a Cell will be involved. So Really looking forward to that on that one. 3.25, 3.5 for me. Main event of the evening for the World Heavyweight Championship. The champion Gunther versus Randy Orton. Gunther wins the match 34 minutes, 28 seconds. Obviously, fight of the night. 4.5 to 4.75. I don't believe you could give it the full 5 because of a couple things. One, it was a little slow at the beginning. However, the crowd in Berlin was really into the fight. They were really excited. They made this match almost a 5-star classic alone. So for me, this was amazing. Great match, great wrestling psychology. Good to winning, no big surprise. At the end of the day, it was a fine main event, to say the very least. 4.75, close to 5. Anthony Florio, it is yours.
Absolutely. 4.5 to 4.75 of a star. Fight of the night. Any questions about Gunther and his reign as World Heavyweight Champion were answered emphatically in a grueling physical win over Randy Orton in the main event of Bash in Berlin. The Ring General absorbed a tremendous beating from the Viper that tested his toughness and resiliency. Late as he was dragged back to the squared circle by Orton after taking a big bump through the announce table, it appeared his reign with the World Heavyweight Championship would be a short one. Instead, he caught Orton with that same sleeper that won him the title at SummerSlam over Damian Priest. And despite the babyface's many attempts to break free, it earned the victory when Orton passed out. The two combatants showed mutual respect, meeting in the center of the ring after the bell for a handshake that earned a big reaction from the fans in Uber Arena. This was a statement performance by both men. For Gunther, it was a declaration that he belongs in the main event and is a champion who is here to stay. For Randy Orton, it was a reminder that he is one of the best wrestlers ever. This was an extraordinary close to the show. Gunther's pop was great. The reaction for Ludwig Kaiser and his introduction of the champion was even better. A deafening reaction for the Ring General. Orton's F-bomb sell of Gunther's chops said all it needed to about the pain one must endure anytime they set foot inside the squared circle with the World Heavyweight Champion. The Ring General nursed the nasty bruise on his right shoulder, the result of the physicality of the bout. The title holder delivered a powerbomb, but Orton kicked out. A second attempt at the move resulted in the Viper slipping out and delivering the RKO for a dramatic 2 count. Orton delivered a side suplex off the steel steps and through the announce table, putting Gunther in the greatest peril he faced all match long. Excellent match, 4.5 to 4.75 of a star. And, as far as overall review goes, this might be a little bit overrating, but I don't care. Outside of WrestleMania, this may have been the best WWE PLE of the year. Cody Rhodes and Kevin Owens set the tone with a fantastic title match to kick things off before the women's tag team match, at least for me anyway, exceeded expectations. Not so much for MF, but, we can't agree every time. CM Punk versus Drew McIntyre and Randy Orton versus Gunther brought physicality, and Rhea Ripley and Damian Priest thrived amid the enormous reaction to their win over Dominic Mysterio and Liv Morgan. Everything hit. The show's pacing was better and nothing felt wasted. There are questions about the booking and how it will affect things in the long term, and Infinity is not nearly long enough for the strap match stipulation to go away, but this was an excellent show and further proof that secondary pay-per-views should stick to smaller cards and compact run times. Solid, somewhere between 8.5 and 9 out of 10 for me. Excellent show. And there isn't anything else left for me to say. MF, your overall thoughts on Bash in Berlin, and then we'll get into No Mercy.
I totally agree with everything you just said. 8.5 to 9 is my rating as well. I think they did an incredible job. Yes, I know I'm being a little harsh on the women's tag team title fight, but I can honestly say, based off some reviews from my friends, 2184 crew, Discord, whatever you want to say, I'm in the majority when it comes to that. Anthony Floyo, I kind of feel like you're in the minority on that one. But like I said, to each his own. I respect your opinion and your decision there. And, we'll see how the chips fall where they may on that one. So, with that said, we're going to go into NXT No Mercy. That goes down tomorrow from the Ball Center, the Ball Arena in Denver, Colorado. And we started off with Wesley versus Zachary Wentz. I kind of feel like this is Zachary Wentz's. I feel like, you got to give him the revenge. Would I understand why Wesley would win the match? Yes. You got TNA versus NXT. You might want to give it to the NXT guy. I get it. But at the end of the day, I do feel like this should be Zachary Wentz, for all this turmoil, for all the stuff that he went through, and especially after what happened with the betrayal, he deserves a moment, a measure of revenge in my eyes. So I'm gonna go with Zachary Wentz to beat Wesley, Anthony Floyo. By the way, Zachary Wentz. I guess I'll spoil this for you fans. The new TNA X Division champion, by the way.
And he did it in grand style in an excellent, and I do mean excellent, Ultimate X match last night as part of TNA Emergence. And of course, Monday night on Ridiculously Raw, I will have the results of TNA Emergence, and MF just gave you one of them. Yes, so if you see Zachary Wentz, if you see a championship belt with Zachary Wentz tomorrow night, you'll know what that is. So, I'll be honest with you. This is a tough one to call for me, to be honest. I mean, there is that part of me that thinks Wes Lee goes over here, and Wes Lee should go over in this one. I mean, normally what happens in matches like these is we've seen it time and time again where we've seen it time and time, like I said, where we see the heel when we start a personal feud, it usually goes the way of the heel in the first match, and then the babyface eventually gets the revenge right after that. So so let's run it down. Let's run it down. Wes Lee and Zachary Wentz had one of NXT's longest running tag team championship reigns, a 202-day run in 2021. Lee climbed his way up the singles rankings after Wentz, then known as Nash Carter, was let go from WWE in 2022. With TNA now having a working agreement with WWE, Wentz made his return, and after a short reunion, Lee recently turned on him, saying he's better than Wentz now. Who should win this match and who will win this match? It's Wes Lee. He absolutely blossomed in his singles career, especially his run as North American champion in 2023. However, a major back surgery stymied his rising star. Now a bad guy, Lee defeating his former partner should give him momentum moving forward. So I'm going with Wes Lee to win this match. So with that, MF set me up for the next match.
All right, Anthony, next up on the fight card, what we have. Yeah. All right. So next up is for the NXT Tag Team titles, it is Chase University. Andre Chase and Rich Holland going up against the former champions, Nathan Frazier and Axiom. Anthony, it's yours.
Who should and will win this match? It's Chase U. I got to go with Chase U to retain the titles. After all, they just won the titles 2 weeks ago. They can't drop it this fast, right? So I think it's going to be a banger of a match, no question. And we'll see what happens. But for me, I gotta go with Chase U to win this one. They just won the titles. It would be a disservice to take them off them after shortly winning them. So winners and still champions, Andre Chase and Rich Holland. And who knows? Could we finally see the implosion of Frazier and Axiom after all those moments of tension between them over the last several weeks and months? Chase U retains. MF, what says you?
I totally agree. I think it's going to be Chase U to win it as well. There's really nothing more to add there. Next, we have is Kalani Jordan versus Wendy Chu for the Women's North American title. Okay. This one's tough. Going in, I was thinking Kalani. But now I'm starting to feel like Wendy might win this. I don't know why. I feel like the evil, the darkness, all that stuff going on, maybe they put the belt on her, but I think it would still be too soon. I kind of feel like Kalani hasn't really gotten a true chance at this title yet. So this is a head over heart thing. I'm going to go with Kalani Jordan to successfully defend the title. I don't know why. I feel like she should remain the champion, but I would not be surprised if Wendy walks out of here with the title. So, Anthony, this is my toughest call for the night. It's yours.
Well, how we got here, Kalani Jordan became the inaugural Women's North American Champion after winning a 6-woman ladder match at Battleground in June. Wendy Chu had been feuding with Kalani Jordan over the last month. Well, we've lost MF for the moment, but hopefully we'll get him back in a moment. Kalani Jordan won the championship in June, and MF made a great point. He's absolutely right. It barely feels like she's had a run with the title, and I don't think she should lose it just yet. So, MF, I 100% agree with everything you just said. It barely feels like Kalani Jordan's had a run with that North American Championship, and she should not lose it just yet. So, and I think Wendy Chu did get over on her on the last NXT. So
she did.
Yep. So I smell a booking 101 in this situation. So winner and still the NXT Women's North American Champion. It is Kalani Jordan. So with that, MF, set me up for the next match.
Next up, we have is Obafemi versus Tony D'Angelo for the North American Championship. Florio, it's yours.
Easy call for me. It's Obafemi. I mean, it would be a great moment for Tony D if he were to win this, but Obafemi has been a star since making his debut. And yes, the Dawn of NXT has been on the cusp of stardom for months. And this is one of the hardest choices on this card for me. But until I see somebody actually beat Obafemi, I cannot and will not go against him. So with all due respect to Tony D, I think he's going to give Femi. I think he'll give Femi, the most fits of his title run so far. But there's nothing left for me to say on this. This is an easy one for me. It may be hard for everybody else, but for me, it's not. Winner and still the North American champion, it's Obafemi until I see otherwise. What says UMF? MF?
Sorry, made a mistake. Forgot to unmute my mic. Obafemi, easy call. You said it. I think that there's really nothing more to add there. I think when it's all said and done, Obafemi should not only win this, but I think will win this maybe going away as well. Just my personal thoughts alone. Winner of the bout still the North American champion Obafemi. 2 matches left. We got is Roxanne Perez versus Jada Parker for the women's title. Roxanne Perez. I think Roxanne Perez wins the match. I think she'll keep the title. Now, who's that girl that Jada was talking about, saying, "Oh, I see you and you want some of this, you'll get slapped too." And you saw Roxanne Perez look like, "Oh crap! Like I just saw a ghost." There's 3 girls in my mind who it could be: Stephanie Valcourt, Julia, or Cora Jade. It's one of those 3. Somebody's about to return, and based on the look on Roxanne Perez's face, it looked like she literally crapped her pants. Meaning, oh no, it cannot be you. So, whoever it is, I think Roxanne Perez is in deep trouble now. So, we'll see. Nothing more to say, Anthony Florio. Roxanne wins. But man, who could that person be? Who could be coming? Because, like I said, Jada Parker basically is like, "Oh, you know what? You want some of this, you'll get this too." And if you saw Roxanne Perez's look, she looked like she saw a ghost. Like, what the hell are you doing here?
Absolutely. How we got here, Roxanne Perez defeated previous champion Lyra Valkyria, who has since been promoted to the Raw roster back in April at Stand and Deliver for the title, her second reign as NXT Women's Champion. Jada Parker, or Ms. Parker if you're nasty, earned the title shot after winning a 6-women eliminator gauntlet on the August 20th edition of NXT. Who should and will win this match? It's easy. It's Roxanne Perez. She is one of just 3 women who have had 2 reigns as NXT Women's Champion, joining, get this lineup, Charlotte Flair and Shayna Baszler. Pretty damn good company. And while Ms. Parker has impressed since her debut, she should not take down Roxanne Perez and win the title. Not yet, anyways. Especially when rumors are swirling of an international star who may soon be making her debut. It could be Stephanie Vacour. I'm getting conflicting reports that it could be Julia. I mean, if it's either one of those two, no. Regardless of who it is, whether it's Stephanie Vacour, whether it's Julia, or even if it's Cora Jade, it's not going to matter. If it's one of those 3, it's going to generate a pop regardless. So there's nothing more to say here. Winner and still the NXT Women's Champion. It's Roxanne Perez. And I believe it's main event time. Isn't it, MF?
It is. For the NXT Championship, the champion, All Ego Ethan Page, goes up against the challenger from TNA Wrestling. Say his name, and he appears. Do you believe in Joe Henry? Well, we'll find out tomorrow night. Anthony Florio, it's yours.
You know me. I believe in Joe Hendry. So, man, I wish Bullock was here. But, all right. All kidding aside, how did we get here? Well, we all know the story of Joe Hendry, who has quickly become one of the hottest wrestlers in NXT as well as TNA, earned an NXT championship match after winning a triple threat match against Wes Lee and Pete Dunne on that August 20th edition of NXT. He challenges Ethan Page, who defeated Trick Williams and 2 others in that fatal 4-way match to win the title at the last event, Heatwave, in July. Who should win and who do I want to win? Of course, it's Joe Hendry. An active TNA wrestler holding a WWE or NXT championship belt. I believe in Joe Hendry. The crooning TNA wrestler is on fire, and they could strike while the iron is hot here. But then again, I thought TNA was going to do that last month at Slammiversary and have him win the TNA Heavyweight Championship. Unfortunately, that did not happen, thanks to Josh Alexander. Of course, Dolph Ziggler, Nick Nemeth, he's the champion now. I'll have more on that on Monday night, of course. And like I said, who should win and who do I want to win? Of course, Joe Hendry. But who will win? I'm sorry, the winner and still the NXT champion, All Ego Ethan Page. And I don't. It's certainly not going to be because of Trick. Absolutely not. Trick's not going to have anything to do with this. I mean, Pete Dunne. I think Pete Dunne can get involved in this and go after Trick and add further fuel to the fire for their match on Tuesday on NXT. I wouldn't be surprised if a fellow TNA superstar comes in, and I wouldn't be surprised if Josh Alexander sticks it to Joe Hendry again. I wouldn't. Just like he did at Slammiversary. So for me, the winner and still the NXT champion, it's All Ego Ethan Page. Joe Hendry got massively over on Tuesday night. Booking 101 suggests that Ethan will retain the title, even though I would love to see Hendry get it. And I know Bullock wants it just as badly as I do, but I'm afraid it's not going to happen. So Ethan Page retains the title. Not much more to say. Take us home, MF.
I agree. I got to go with All Ego as well. I think Ethan Page will win the match. I think he'll successfully defend the title. It's going to be a very good match. It's going to be very tight to the very end. So yeah, nothing more to say, guys. We're out of here. We're done. We'll be back on Monday night for Ridiculously Raw. Anthony Flair will host it. We'll have Monday Night Raw. We'll have the recap of No Mercy. And Anthony will have his emergence as well. Nothing more to say. Oh, okay, hold on. I want to give a little shout out to Logan James K. My prediction: Wesley challenges Zachary Wentz for the TNA X Division Championship in No Mercy.
I don't know about that. I mean, Wentz just won the title at Emergence in that Ultimate X match, and that would be a twist. I mean, that would be a very interesting twist.
The only way he does it is Wesley kind of calls him out on it. Probably pokes the bear, kind of poke the bear enough to the point that he demands the title shot. I could possibly see it. When that would make the match even more bigger. That would make the entire show even more greater. Put the TNA X Division title on the line on a WWE/NXT event. Unheard of.
That would be something. I mean, a TNA championship defended on an NXT show, that would be something.
All right. Well, we'll see. We'll see if that prediction comes true. Logan, thank you for chiming in and giving us your thoughts. Anthony, we'll do it on Monday night on your channel, the 225 on YouTube and StreamYard.com. Thank you, guys. Like the video, leave a comment, share with all your friends all over the social media platforms around the world. And until then, we'll see you guys on Monday. For us, for Anthony Foyle, I'm Michael Fletcher saying so long, everybody.
Goodbye.